In a world driven by endless noise, superficial drama, and constant validation, the weakest individuals are always the ones who scream the loudest just to feel powerful. They confuse aggression with authority, and they mistake loud voices for dominance. But the truly dangerous men, the elite minds who control every room they walk into, operate in absolute, impenetrable silence. They don't fight cheap battles, they don't engage in useless arguments, and they never, under any circumstances, lose their internal composure. When someone attempts to disrespect them, challenge their authority, or undermine their value, they do not react like ordinary people. They do not get defensive, they do not shout, and they do not show anger. Instead, they deploy hidden psychological laws that shatter the offender's ego and dismantle their confidence instantly, without uttering a single unnecessary word. Today, you will unlock the hidden blueprint. You will learn the 4 silent protocols used by high-status men to handle disrespect like an untouchable ghost, keeping your power fully intact while your opponents defeat themselves. Imagine this exact scenario. You are sitting in a room, a meeting, or a social gathering, and someone suddenly directs an insult at you, or throws a passive-aggressive joke designed to make the crowd laugh at your expense. The natural, primitive human reflex is to protect the ego by fighting back or laughing awkwardly to polite the room. But rule number 1 of the elite blueprint demands the exact opposite. Your face must remain completely, utterly dead. Do not smile to ease the tension, and do not let a single spark of anger twitch your eyes or change your posture. You must look directly, deeply into their eyes and count to 3 seconds of absolute, heavy, and suffocating silence. This sudden, unbothered freeze completely shifts the psychological pressure away from you and heavy onto them. It signals to everyone that the insult didn't even register as a threat. After those 3 agonizing seconds of silence, you look at them and ask in a very low, slow, and ice-cold tone, "Are you done?" This short, calculated question completely reframes the dynamic. It implies that their sudden burst of disrespect was cheap, childish, and totally irrelevant to your reality. You didn't waste energy defending yourself. Instead, you framed them as a desperate, pathetic seeker of attention who just failed to get a reaction. Toxic individuals and psychological manipulators absolutely love to hide their deep-rooted jealousy behind the convenient mask of sarcasm, teasing, and playful humor. They throw a sharp, poisoned dart at your character, and the moment you show that you are offended, they quickly shield themselves by saying, "Calm down, I was just joking." It is a cowardly tactic designed to weaken your social status while keeping them safe from consequences. High-value men never fall into this trap. Instead, they deploy a devastating psychological counterweapon known as the joke dissection. The protocol is simple, yet lethal. The exact moment they finish delivering their malicious joke and look around the room for smiles, you do not get angry. You simply look at them with total, genuine confusion, tilt your head slightly, and say with absolute calm, "I don't get it." Pause for a brief second, look them dead in the eyes, and follow it up with a cold, steady request. "Can you explain why that is supposed to be funny?" This simple phrase completely destroys their strategy. It forces the manipulator to stand before the entire room and consciously explain the malicious intent, the hidden jealousy, and the cheap insult behind their words. Humor instantly dies under serious logical analysis. When they are forced to break down their own joke, the laughter vanishes, and the entire room becomes dead silent. The table is instantly turned, the hidden clown is fully exposed to the public, and your high status is perfectly preserved without you ever raising your voice. One of the most calculated, toxic, and common forms of disrespect in the modern digital age is deliberate ignorance and social exclusion. It happens when people intentionally choose not to reply to your text messages for days, ignore your presence when you walk into a space, or actively cut you off while you are speaking in the middle of a group conversation. Weak, insecure men react to this treatment by chasing after attention. They send double texts, they ask what is wrong, or they raise their voices louder and louder just to be heard by a crowd that is ignoring them. High-value men, however, never beg for space. They immediately deploy the absolute mirror protocol, returning the exact same energy with double the psychological force. If someone consciously chooses to ignore your message or your digital presence, you do not complain, and you do not ask questions. You delete their existence from your attention queue immediately and permanently. You never ask why, you never seek closure, and you never show a single sign that their absence hurt your pride. Your attention is an expensive currency, and if they choose to misplace it, they lose access to it forever. Likewise, if someone cuts you off in the middle of a sentence during a live conversation, stop talking instantly. Do not try to finish your point over their voice. Simply shut your mouth, completely withdraw your energy from the circle, and immediately look at someone else or focus on something else. Your sudden, cold withdrawal of attention acts like an ice-cold shower to their massive, inflated ego. You instantly become a mysterious ghost to them. And human psychology proves that people always desperately chase the very things they can no longer access or control. During a highly heated argument, a sudden confrontation, or an aggressive verbal attack, the natural, uneducated human reflex is to explode with emotion. People raise their pitch, they speak faster, and they let adrenaline dictate their movements. But the elite mind operates on a much higher frequency. The elite man knows with absolute certainty that emotional reactivity is a total, undeniable admission of weakness and lack of internal control. To destroy disrespect in real time and maintain absolute dominance over the situation, you must deploy the low-frequency rule. The moment the chaos rises around you, you must consciously drop your voice to its lowest registers and speak at a very measured, slow, and deliberate pace. Fast, high-pitched talking signals panic, anxiety, and hidden fear directly to the opponent's brain, giving them the illusion that they are winning. On the other hand, a slow, deep, whispered, and completely calm tone signals absolute situational control, dangerous self-confidence, and a complete lack of fear. It creates an aura of extreme power. This psychological shift forces the aggressor, who is screaming and wasting energy, to subconsciously match your low tone just to understand what you are saying, effectively forcing them to quiet down their own chaos and submit to your rhythm. Remember this golden rule of power. True, undeniable strength is never found in loud roaring. It is found in the absolute, terrifying control of the quiet. Disrespect, in any of its forms, is never a true reflection of your personal worth or value as a man. It is simply a psychological test of your personal boundaries and internal strength. People will continuously push you just to see how much disrespect you are willing to tolerate before you break. By mastering these 4 silent laws of high-status behavior, you take back absolute control of your power without ever wasting a single word on people who do not deserve your energy. You do not need to scream to be respected, and you do not need to fight to be feared. Your cold silence, your unbothered eyes, and your calculated boundaries will speak much louder than any words ever could. Protect your peace at all costs. Stay absolutely unbreakable in the face of chaos, and welcome to the inner circle of the elite minds.